Hey everybody, Anish here, career coach of the fiercely ambitious, answering a question that gets raised all the time. I'm sure you've thought about it, which is, should you ever really talk about weaknesses in a hiring situation? And there's advice both for and against out there, passionately on both sides when it comes to this topic, right? Some people say, look, absolutely never. You're there to look good. You're there to secure an opportunity. Let them handle trying to poke holes in it. You are perfect and you don't admit to that. So if that comes up, just deflect it or just move on or do something else like that. There's others who say, no. There's benefit to being honest. There's benefit to being upfront about what worked and what didn't. That's a way to better build that relationship and thereby turn this person into an ally faster and all of that entails, right? I want to give you a slightly different look on this that has worked really well for me. It's worked really well for those I coach. And I think it strikes an appropriate middle ground here, okay? Let's start with an idea that I'm going to quickly touch on now, and I'm going to come back to right at the end of the video, okay? So be sure to stick around for that and see how it's shifted your perspective, okay? And here's the idea. At its heart, the risk of when you're asked to talk about weaknesses, failures, things that didn't work out, it's not what you think. It's the risk is not that you're going to spend so long talking about your failures that people are like, oh, you're a failure or you're too weak to hire. No. The challenge is actually one of self-belief. Can someone at any level, do they have the power to get you questioning yourself? Get you questioning what you can do? Get you questioning the rightness of why having someone like you put the pieces together in terms of the operations, put the pieces together in terms of the business plan, how we're going to get that funding, put the pieces together in terms of taking talent and analytics and this other thing and actually having them play ball together for the first time. Does anyone have the power to shake you off of that? And the answer to that, before you go into interview one, and certainly before you're asked questions related to this, has to be unequivocally, no, there's nothing that you could say, there's nothing that you could, blindside me with that is going to shake my belief in myself and what I can do. So certainly what I would say, one of the biggest traps that people fall into, they go into a job search without doing the appropriate kind of work on building up their belief, building up their perspective of how they're coming across. You have a choice. Everyone has 5, 10, 15 different ways that they can come across. You got to figure out what they are and what the strongest one is for what you're trying to achieve right now. Otherwise, you have no business being in that room. So first, number one, as a caveat, I would say, don't ever put yourself into a place where you say they have the power to make me doubt myself. They can ask whatever they want. They can ask all sorts of challenge questions that they want. It's up to you how you respond. And make sure that you're coming at it from a place of deep bedrock belief, because that is going to make all of what I'm about to suggest to you. I'm going to suggest 3 ways that much more effective, okay? So here's the first one, okay? When it comes to talking about weaknesses, failures, how you address it. Change the meaning of the word weakness. You say failure, I don't look at it that way. Every success that I've had, business-wise, at company X, at company Y, let's be real. Anyone who tells you that that's not coming on the heels of 50, 100, sometimes 500 different iterations that didn't work is lying to you, right? So a big challenge for me, and certainly what I look to impart on my team, is have pleasure in the journey. Have pleasure and pride in every step and find the win, find the lesson in what today's obstacle is going to be. Because the dream goals of tomorrow quickly become the thing that we need to get past today. That happens all around the globe. And if you're just stuck looking at it from I won, I lost, you're never going to get past that. So I would say within the realm of areas of improvement, here's one that really sticks out. So I've changed the meaning of weakness, right, into something else. And I've given you a deeper, more galvanizing vision of how to do this that serves me, that doesn't hurt me, right? So that's one thing, is you can change the meaning of weakness, failure, whatever that thing is that's troublesome here, into a zone that really makes sense. Just make sure that you're backing it up with something that you genuinely believe in. Don't fake this. Number 2, okay? You can use the opening to talk about stuff like this to go deep into character. Go deep into character, not your capabilities, right? Not your qualifications for the job or your resume or anything like that. No, we're talking about your character. So what does that mean specifically? Okay, so one thing that I've definitely struggled with, I have a quote actually. I'm gonna butcher Rodin, I think. Patience is also a form of action. And I've printed that out because that's the thing that I have to remind myself over and over and over again. I have to remind myself that sticking the course, getting enough data, figuring out past the point of when I would like to change, because I'm an idea guy. I can, you give me, a page full of ideas, I'll fill it up and then I'll go to page 2 and 3, right? But that's not always the right answer. Sometimes the right answer is making an intelligent decision and then sticking with it up to the point and past the point where you can actually get real data. So you don't have to rely on intuition past that point. So that patient action, that's something that I'm always looking at, and I think it's a push and pull there, because I always want to innovate. I always want to be moving things forward, especially now, post-pandemic, sticking to the same paradigms, my God, that is do anything except from that, But that balance is it's something that I'm looking to have. God knows, having 3 kids though will force that balance and that patience into you if you don't have it, right? So that's one way. Go deep into character. Actually show something, but use it as an opportunity for me to better understand who you are. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the key there. Okay, the last one, right? You can always make a joke or do it lightly and then pivot to something meaningful, And people really scoff at that because they're like, "Oh, it's an interview. Everything has to be hyper serious." No, it doesn't. Right? If someone asks you what your greatest weakness is, and you're like, honestly, like, there's these like flaming hot Cheetos, I'm like every night it's become a real problem with me, but honestly, like, the working out, I'm an Indian kid, and that wasn't part of our lexicon growing up. So I sort of consider it's like 2 steps forward, 1 steps back a little bit there. But yeah, ice cream. Do not invite me to Dairy Queen for the next meeting. That's all I'm saying, right? So have some fun, right? But do you see what the commonality is? It's not just about the methodology. It's not just about changing the meaning of what weakness is or going deep into character or making a joke or being light of it. I'm using all of those as a stepping stone for you to come away with a better understanding of something, right? It's a better understanding of me, better understanding of what I can do, better understanding of what I believe in, right? That's how you can take a gotcha question like a weakness and turn it into something that binds. And also never forget, we're all connected by the weaknesses. We're not connected by our successes. We're connected by all of the patient action we had to take when we didn't know what the answer was. So be a human being about it. And again, let me return to that final idea. Is there anything that anyone could possibly ask or challenge you on that would make you fundamentally shake who you are? And shame on you if all it takes is a recruiter or some person who got a job title, who cares, to make you do that. That's the real issue that, if that's rearing its head, needs to be looked at. Stack on your belief when it comes to that, and make sure that you know that it doesn't matter whatever the outcome is of this meeting, this interview. I am who I am. I'm going to keep doing my best every single hour, every single day, to make the impact that I know is important. And I don't need permission to do that. Neither do you, okay? If you want to go deeper into this and you want to really go deep into the kind of training and the kind of perspective that I coach on that is very much away from the norm and very much designed for one thing and one thing only, getting high-level quality offers in play for you without the BS of the traditional job search, head on over to helloanish.com, HELLOANISH.com. You can take our masterclass where I teach you the exact shifts. That's a very good use of your time. There's active teaching in that. That's a liftoff point there, and it's a liftoff point for further training free that I'm offering to get as many people out of this job seeker trap that eats up 4+ years of their life and into a better place as I can. Okay, so if that interests you, helloanish.com. Do not wait on this. Now, not next year. Now, right now is the moment for you to strike. Talk to you soon.